Hello.
Hi.
The holiday is done.
There's another one next week.
And for some, the holiday is starting tonight or last night. So happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Wow, I didn't realize it was starting so late this year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Wow, I've never noticed it can be after Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, happy Hanukkah to those that celebrate.
I know. So, hi, everybody. Welcome. It is Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching. And
Krista, Michelle's daughter slash COO slash operations magic maker. All
best friend, confidant,
bestie.
bestie, crafter, buddy.
All those good things.
Oh, I should have brought my karaoke sign in here to show everyone what you got me
Oh, that would have been so cute. We'll do it next
next
week.
week.
Oh my god, you know what we could do? We should see if we can wear our headsets on one of these episodes.
So cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I have a neon sign for karaoke night and a headset is so cool. I'm gonna make my own karaoke room. See, when you can't always get out and go places, you just create your own.
Well, it's honestly, I think it's more fun to have karaoke at home because we learned after going to the karaoke place that they actually have cameras in all the rooms, so they're just watching everyone sing. So why not just do it at your house where nobody's watching you?
I know.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. I'm gonna text you back. She texted me, and I haven't even had an opportunity to read it.
No,
Um,
seriously, like the last week, you've been like a chicken with your head cut off.
I really have been. So
Yeah.
it is time to. Why don't we do some breathing? Thank you, everyone,
I
for
love
being
it. Yes,
here.
let's start out.
Let's get into a moment of presence. So, what I want you to do is when you breathe deep in, I want you to take a deep breath of everything that you just experienced for the last like week and a half. We're going to hold it, let it like kind of circle around, and then we're going to exhale it out and watch it drift away. Okay?
You got it.
Deep breath in. And bring all that energy in. And then anything you want to get rid of and let go of, just see it floating away. And then another deep breath in. Bring in any residual feelings, thoughts about the new year. Let it swirl around, acknowledge it. Thank you for being there and warning me. And then nice exhale. See that float away. And then let's do one fun one. Where do we want to be this time next year? What do we want to be celebrating? Big deep breath in. Maybe it's just to be happy, even more happy. And then just exhale. Smiles, smiles, everyone, as we used to say on Fantasy Island. That was a TV show, not a weird movie. Just saying.
Thank God.
Yeah. So, today's topic, out with the old, in with the new.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that came to mind was my really, really, really pretty planner that was last year's or this year's. That's still for the next few days. But I got a new one for Christmas and it's pretty and it's white. So out with the old, in with the new. But there are some really good things in here that I will be transferring over into my new one.
I
So,
gotta say too,
mm-hmm.
the new one is like a cream rose gold. I really like the lighter color. It feels so much lighter going into the new
Yes.
year. That purple feels a little heavy now.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah,
did serve me well though.
it did.
Yeah.
It did.
What that's what we're talking about today is thinking about the year, kind of
Mm-hmm.
a year in review.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of change with the
Mm-hmm.
Barones, definitely. And bringing it in. right? Because we need to do that, acknowledge it. And then what is it that we want to move forward with? What do we want to leave behind? What do we not want to bring into the new year? Uh, so
If you're asking me, there's a lot I want to leave behind, not bring into the new year. I've mentioned it before. For me, it's been the year of my Saturn return. So typically during your first Saturn return, there's like turmoil and just things going on to help you get to where you need to be for like the second half of your life, so to speak, or the second third of your life.
mhm.
And so mine was very much focused on really just like finding my place in spirituality and faith and all of those good things. So for me, I'm really looking forward to leaving a lot of that behind and just really continuing on with where I've sort of found myself spiritually and faithfully, no, spiritually, and really go with that and just dive into it more and more and just get more comfortable in that. I think it makes sense where the year has taken me, and it's definitely one of those things where now looking back and reviewing, I go, okay, I can see why things worked out the way they have and all of that good. Like, I can see it.
Mhm.
I'm still going to roll my eyes a little bit, but I can see it. So that's for me. I think I want to leave a lot of like emotional baggage from the year behind.
Yeah.
What about you?
And
Oh, go ahead.
well, and with that emotional baggage, because I agree, there's a lot.
Hmm.
Um, it's really taking what that baggage has brought us, right? Because there's always surprises in the baggage.
Yeah.
And so what is it that that baggage brought us, brought
Hmm.
us, that we can then utilize, put in place
Hmm.
for the next year? So what are the good things that we're taking with us
Hmm.
into the new year? For me, um, I don't know. I woke up this morning with a sense of I'm ready to get rid of some stuff. I know
I
you'll
like it.
be very happy to hear that. Um, and just really starting fresh,
I like
just a
it. Yeah.
fresh perspective. Uh,
Isn't it interesting that we do spring cleaning, but not like end of the year cleaning? Like, I feel like the end of the year is so much more of a better time to, I mean, I guess you could do spring cleaning too, but I just feel like
mhm,
the end of the year is such a perfect time to just like clean house.
yeah. Well, and
And
I
it's not
think,
talked about enough. We talk about starting a lot of new things,
yeah.
but you have to make room to start those new things. Also, hi, Annie.
Hi, Annie. Um, I think that when you're getting ready for Christmas, I
Hmm.
kind of felt that way when we were bringing in some of the Christmas stuff. Like I
Yeah.
felt like we were cleaning, like doing a spring cleaning.
Yeah.
And I wonder, and for those of you who live in places where it's like super cold, is spring cleaning because you've been in the
Oh,
house all winter and kind of closed up, and so you did
yeah.
things, you were done with
It's
things.
also defrosted enough that you can put things outside without them getting ruined.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so I wonder if that's why it's called spring cleaning. I don't know. Something to think about.
When you say you want to like clear things out, are you kind of like, for me, when I think of that, I think of that old show.
The one about
Maybe it was
hoarders.
trading. No, it may have been Trading Spaces, where they would like they go through each room.
Mhm.
They would take every single thing out of the room, and they had a keep pile, a donate pile, a throwaway pile, and I know there was a fourth one. So they like basically laid out a giant chart, and they had
Mhm.
four corners, and you literally took every single thing out of the room and put it in one of the four squares. And
Yeah.
I have never forgotten. That was from like the early 2000s. We watched
Yeah.
that when I was a kid, and I've always wanted to do that because it just seems like so cleansing.
What an interesting concept too with experiences and emotions. Like
Yeah.
why does it have to be just
Yeah.
physical? Can you imagine?
True. Very true. That might be
Like
something we look at for a freebie for 2025.
oh heck, I'm donating this experience to, and I think that that's
I'm not sure how you donate an experience, but all right.
well, you take what you've learned from the experience and you donate it forward, like by telling your story. What are some other ways that you could donate your experience? Like you can learn from my mistakes, or you can learn from my wins. You can learn from what I've
I
tried.
see where you're going.
Donate books that
Hmm.
like from the beginning of our journey, we read some books and now
Yeah.
we're at a different part. So what are some of those that we could donate to someone else? And can you imagine? Oh my gosh, what a great idea. Not that I'm patting myself on the back, but
Nothing wrong with that.
can you imagine if you wrote a little note where whoever gets this book next, these are some of my takeaways and good luck on your journey. Like,
That
can you
would be such
imagine?
a cute thing to do.
Right?
I
And then
wonder if Barnes
donate
and
it.
Noble would kick us out if we tried to do that.
Yeah, probably. It would have to be like more of a used book situation,
Yeah,
like, yard sale, or donating them to Goodwill or something like that. And
oh,
then
you remember Paperback
right.
Swap? That was.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
that was a
it still
great.
exists.
Yeah, this could be enlightened paper book swap,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I was just on a podcast that we were just filming it, recording it, so I'll let you all know when it's going to come out. But one of the things he asked was, you know, what would you suggest for somebody just starting, like on their journey,
What a
So
great question.
yeah, and I was like, as crazy as it may sound, The Secret, like
Mm.
you may think is
That or
hooey.
letting go.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He said letting go. And I was like, and The Secret, because I think that hand in hand,
Yeah.
those are two The Secret goes deeper into the philosophies, and different, you get introduced to different people and their philosophies. And I remember watching it in the beginning going, I don't know. And I had to watch it a couple times, and I think I even read the book then.
Yeah.
And then that's when I really started diving into it.
Well, the thing about The Secret is I feel like it makes it almost too simple to where it really isn't quite that simple. But as an introductory, I think it is the best place to start. Because even
Yeah.
letting go really makes you see things that if you're not ready for, you might get a little
Mhm.
deterred. Where I think The Secret, its benefit and detriment is that it makes it very simple.
Yeah. Well, and also The Secret and what we were talking
Hey,
about.
Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. What we were talking about with The Secret is when you first start watching The Secret, it's very much about materialistic things.
Yeah.
But I think as a beginner, you have to start there because
Well, I feel like there was a big health aspect to The Secret too, or am I thinking of the wrong movie? I feel like there were a lot of stories of people healing themselves.
I
Maybe
don't
I'm thinking of the wrong film. I mean, I know The Secret,
maybe.
but maybe I'm thinking of another one.
I mean, there was a part 2 where they did talk about health, but
Maybe
the law of attraction first started, well, with The Secret. It was very much like if you want a car, if you want a house, and I think that that's a great place to start from if you've never done law of attraction before,
hmm
because how do you say, like, I want to be happy but I don't know what would make me happy?
hmm
You know what I mean? Like, if you say, I want a nice car, well, why? What are your reasons for wanting the car? Is it for notoriety and your ego? Is it you want to be safe and be able to go around and have freedom? Right. So, if law of attraction, like, I want to attract freedom, you wouldn't necessarily think of a car. But if you think of a
Yeah.
car, you would think of freedom. So, I just wonder if that's their kind of what their philosophy was when they started with very materialistic things, because when you think about it, every single one of them are not materialistic in the
Yeah.
sense of what they preach, what
Yeah.
they put out there. So
Yeah. True.
I think you have to, like we always talk about, you got to meet people where they're at and go from there. um and look at who's here today, and thank you all for being here, but look at who's here today, and there's such a plethora of different, I don't want to say levels, but different people have gone down different paths,
Yeah.
and we all end up in the same place.
Mhm.
How we get there is going to be different. Some people may start with The Secret, some may start with letting go, some may start with the Bible, and some may start with stoicism and learning about the universal laws.
Yeah, there's a lot of places to
We'll get into the
start.
same place.
Yeah. Well, we're our topic today is really talking about a big start, which is the new year.
Right.
This is the time where everyone's, new year, new me. I'm going to start at the gym. I'm going to work out 7 days a week, and I'm going to eat a no carb diet, and I'm going to walk 20,000 steps a day, and I'm going to sit in the sun for 20 minutes every day. Do we notice a theme in the things that I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going way above and beyond. And it's little steps, right? Because if you're moving forward, it doesn't matter how big the steps are. And so, are you going to set yourself up for success, or are you going to set yourself up for
Yep.
borderline potential failure? So, maybe in a month from now, I want to feel stronger than I feel today. Whatever that looks like, it may be that you work out 3 days a week.
What if we do a combination of things?
Hit me with it. Let's go.
So what if we start with what if step 1 is that? So step 1 looks like how do I want to feel? So I want to feel stronger. And then maybe the second step is making a list of what are the things I can do to achieve that.
Yeah. Well, and
so
defining
it's not just general, but it has a couple of
strength.
steps. Yeah.
You
have to be careful with that kind of language.
Well, are you talking like you want to be able to carry 3 gallons of water in from the car? Or are you talking about I want to feel emotionally stronger?
Well, that's what I'm saying is you got to be careful with your language. Because if you just say I want strength, well, then the universe is going to give you things to be strong from, which could be hardship.
Right.
So you want to be specific in the things that you ask for.
I want to feel
physically
more
strong.
Physically,
I want to build my physicality. I want to feel more vitality. I want to feel stronger in my muscles. I want to be able to lift things easier. I want to be more flexible physically.
Ooh, I want to have more stamina to ride my bike longer.
Mm-hmm.
And the key is to speak as if you're already in the midst of it, doing it, having it, right? So we haven't ridden bikes. So I'm going to say I want more stamina to ride my bike farther.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this brings up something that I think is really interesting, and it's kind of like a pitfall that we all have when it comes to like making New Year's resolutions or really any goals at all is so something like, we've been talking about doing family bike rides for ages now.
And we have all the bikes.
And we have all the bikes. We have all the gear to do it. And, it kind of seems silly to start with something like, I want to take one family bike ride a month. It's like, okay, there's plenty of time for that. Of course, we can do one a month.
Right.
Well, right now we're doing none.
So
if you start with once a month,
right,
get in the habit of it. You know what? We're really enjoying this. Let's bump it up to twice a month. That's every other week. Get in the habit of it. And the same thing can happen whether it's the gym or it's something with your career or something, whatever is, we say, I want to work out 7 days a week. Even if you work out 2 days, it's more than what you're doing none. Right. And so I think, it's really easy for us to kind of get in that thought process of like, well, no, if I'm going to do it, I need to do it like all the way. Okay, but you also need it to be sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, then even if you work out 7 days in a row for 3 weeks and then you never work out again, the 3 weeks really isn't going to do much. Versus, let's say you work out twice a week for 10 years. I'm pretty confident. Now, listen, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a doctor. But I'm pretty sure that's better for you in the long run.
Yeah. And you could do something as simple as for 15 minutes every day, I want to do some type of movement for my muscles.
Yeah.
You don't even have to define it. So that way, if it's a walk, if it's a bike ride, if it's three sets of squats, it takes you 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
Just make it simple. Simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. KISS.
All right. I like keep it simple, sister. It's just, a little nicer tone.
It depends on your personality, but anyway.
And I think it's important to track it too. right? So, I mean, in my lovely journal, it actually has a little space. I'll show it. It has a little space where you can
Hmm.
mark little checkbooks
Oh,
of
I
what
love
you've
it.
done. Yeah.
And you don't need a
And
big workbook for that, guys.
no,
Get
you
on it,
can
make it
just,
in a Word document, print it out, slap it on your wall, put it on your phone.
or
Apps for that.
you already have a calendar probably hanging up somewhere. Just put, a check mark. You did that.
Yeah,
Um, but I think it's absolutely, and you're right. Don't overcomplicate it.
yeah,
What is the most important thing to you today that or right now that you want to improve for 2025, and then do that. What's one thing you want to learn in 2025 that you don't know now or that you want to learn more about?
yeah,
Put that on your list.
yeah,
And then that way, just take it a little at a time, but each little thing that you do is going to move you closer and closer to where
yeah.
you want to be.
Now, how do you feel? I just thought about this too. How do you feel about the idea of even staggering things? So, let's say for the first week, you focus on getting in the gym twice that week, and keep doing it after that. But that first week, that's all you focus on is getting in the gym twice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that's one of the things. Then week 2 of the year, you want to really focus on your water intake, and maybe actually you probably should reverse those. But either way, you want to focus on more hydration. So for week 2,
Mm-hmm.
you've already been in the gym twice. You're going to keep that up. But week 2 is when you start going, okay, I
Yeah.
want to make sure that I'm drinking 20 ounces of water a day. And for some people, going 20 ounces, well, some people drink like 4. So that's a big improvement for some people. And then maybe after, okay, you've done that for a week. Now, week 3 is when you bring
Mm-hmm.
in starting to read every morning for 5 minutes. So staggering it so that you're not trying to do 15 things at one time.
Right. Well, and I would change the word stagger then to stack. You're just stacking, you're stacking it up. So that way, what do you want it to look like? And maybe that's what your vision board looks like, is that you've taken it and almost done it monthly. Like, okay, this is what I want to look like for, this is what I want month 1 to look like, 2, 3. And then by month 12, I want to be buff. I want to be healthy and vibrant and glowing. I want, a new house or whatever.
I'm not sure buff is really something attainable in 12 months, but I guess if you're cutting a lot,
I
then
mean, maybe. I don't know.
depends on your body
Um,
type.
yeah, it depends on your body type. Whatever buff means to you. I mean, could
Okay.
mean something different for everybody.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that that's the better way to do it than just to say, these are all the things and I'm going to work on them all at the same time.
Yeah.
So yesterday
Oh
we
gosh.
do Christmas morning, and we all are in our Christmas pajamas, and it ended up that I don't know why. I never changed. I was in my pajamas all day long because I was like, well, we had breakfast and we unwrapped presents, and then all of a sudden it was like 2,
I
and then
know that there's a time warp that happens on Christmas, but go
it
ahead.
was weird. And then finally, thankfully, I had to go and take care of our animals that we have, and so I had to like put clothes on, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so much better now. So it was just, I appreciate that I have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
I missed my routine, and I think
I've been thinking that
sometimes
myself.
we have to stop. We had and I was listening to a book, and what's the book I'm reading? The Untethered. It's
The
not Untethered
untethered soul.
Soul. Is it okay? And he was talking about, if you ever want to know why you do things, don't do them. Don't do them for a day, and you'll figure out why you do them. And yesterday was the perfect day to know why I get up at 5:55, to know why I meditate in the morning, to know why I get dressed every single day, whether I'm going somewhere or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like kind of crappy and like,
Yeah.
bleh, you know? But then once I got dressed at 5 p.m., I was like, huh, now I have energy. And it just felt more like me.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really, really good, between now and New Year's Eve. If there's something that you're unsure of or you don't know why you do it, like, why do I bother?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. Don't do it for a day. See how you feel. And you'll figure out very quickly why you do it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
drinking water is a big one for me. I'm looking forward to being more hydrated this year.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that for you.
And as we talk about using your words carefully, you add the more because you want to speak from a place of you're already doing it or you're already there for law of attraction purposes. I
Yeah.
want more of or more
I'm looking forward to feeling more relaxed in 2025.
I'm looking forward to a more uneventful 2025 that
Oh,
it's
I'm looking forward to
smooth
the most
sailing.
uneventful year ever.
Just
Next year's uneventfulness has nothing on this year's uneventfulness.
yeah, just nice smooth sailing, calm seas,
Yep.
just
Well,
chill.
yeah. You really got to be careful with language.
Yeah, high happy highs. Happy highs.
Huh? You lost me on
Well,
that one, but that's all right.
happy highs. We if we're going to go high like a tsunami,
Hmm.
then we want it to be because of happiness.
Yeah. Well, and I think, us talking about the importance of language, I think this is also where it's important to talk about like intention.
Mhm.
Yes, language is very important, but intention is also very important. And so that's something that I still kind of like go back and forth on in my own head. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well as like, we need to be mindful of language, but there also is that component of your intention is more important than language.
Yes. So my affirmation that I have been using the last few months is all of life, good, bad, who knows? All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory.
Mm-hmm.
So I just maintain my ease, my joy, and my glory. Whatever
Glory is a hard word.
happens, whatever happens, and you could say grace. Grace is good too. That I welcome all of life with ease, grace, and joy.
That's a
Because
good one.
that covers everything. It literally covers everything.
Yeah.
Good, bad, who knows? But I welcome in all of life because life's going to happen. Life's. So I'm just going to welcome life in with ease, joy, and glory,
Yeah.
or grace, or grace.
Now, what can folks do to really stay and work on being aligned this year? Being emotionally stable, um, stick to their resolutions, stick to their growth. What are some things that people can do?
Give up judging yourself and judging others. Give up expectations of yourself and others.
Mm-hmm.
And get some accountability to help you stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am wanting to work with clients, and I've created this list of topics that I'm so excited about because it's the law of attraction, but how you utilize it to move beyond judgment, how you utilize it to bring in the power of acceptance, acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because let's face it, we have to acknowledge that all of life is coming to us, good, bad, or indifferent. And then we have to accept it, and then we have to move through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to not judge ourselves when we lose our shit, because that's going to happen too, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, but it's how quickly can I rebound from it? And
Mm-hmm.
if it's taking you 36 hours or a week or a couple days to rebound from a situation that happens, way too long. And we can knock that down to an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Even less if you want to get real crazy.
yeah, and give people time back. But radical acceptance, being sovereign, falling in love with yourself. These are the
What
things that I
does
want to work with people on.
what does accountability mean, really?
So interesting. We were just talking about this on the podcast too. So accountability is okay. So there's therapy where you're going to dive into things from the past and you're going to really get into it. You're going to dive into the quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the therapist will be there to help pull you out, but you're going to dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
Where accountability and coaching is more about think of being a witness as an eagle flying above a situation, taking the emotions out of it and being able to look at it more like a movie and go, "Oh, okay, I can see how that happened and this happened and I can see that perspective. I can see that perspective. Oh, okay." And
Mm-hmm.
then taking those lessons, putting them in your backpack and moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy is diving in
Mm-hmm.
into the quicksand and really getting into the gritty. Coaching is more about looking at it, witnessing it from a new set of eyes, probably from all the different set of eyes, and then moving forward with the lesson and then applying it right then and there to your life now. So that way you can move forward and potentially not allow a situation to happen again or know how to handle it better and respond better
Mm-hmm.
because now you've shifted the perspective and you were more of a witness.
Mm-hmm. And what about the accountability piece?
The accountability piece is, having somebody, a coach or somebody that knows how to do this and keep you in line with what is it that you're trying to grab right
Mm-hmm.
from the baggage. Because if you're right on the edge of that quicksand and you're witnessing whatever that quicksand is, it's very easy to slip into the quicksand.
Yeah.
But a coach or someone like that is going to grab you and be like, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Unemotionally, let's just look at this. No harm. We're just taking a look at it. We're
Mm-hmm.
grabbing the perspective shift. We're grabbing the lessons and we're getting out of here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not diving in.
Yeah.
And so the accountability is keeping you on that path of forward motion and really making sure that you don't get distracted. But this and but that. And no, forward, forward.
Right.
What do you want to take with you?
Right.
And that's leaving the old behind and bringing in the new. We don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go back and take a look for a perspective shift, but we don't stay there. And we don't get emotional about it. We moving forward, always
Mm-hmm.
moving forward. And so the accountability is really holding you to what you say you want to do. Just like a coach when you start
Like in
going
the gym.
like at
Mm-hmm.
the gym and you're doing your muscle, your reps. Well, what does that look like emotionally?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I've had clients that are like, well, I did the exercise and the activity. And I'm like, well, let's take a look at it. And could you have gone a
Yeah.
little bit
I
more
was
into
gonna say it's like when you're doing bicep curls and you're doing them a little bit too easily, and the coach goes, "I think we need to jump up a weight," and
yeah.
they go, "No, no, no, I'm good where I am. Really, I feel good at this weight. Nope, we're gonna bump it up."
Or you walk in and you're like, no, I want to go really hard on it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to lift the 100-pound weight. And then you
Yeah.
like pull your back. So
Or it's even like having a spotter at the gym. You have this really difficult
exactly
exercise that you need
right.
to do, and that accountability is someone kind of standing behind you, getting ready to catch the bar if you trip.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's so important. And also there's a lot of, the accountability piece is also going, you're focusing on this, but this actually is not as much of a problem as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this for a second.
Yeah.
And then someone goes, oh, and there's like this big aha moment. And I love those because you're saving people time because you're not pointing things out and telling them the answers because that's something that you don't want a coach to do
Right.
is to give you the answers because you're not coming upon them on your own.
Right.
So just kind of delicately guiding you along the way.
Yeah.
And walking with you, spotting you so you don't get distracted and go down the wrong path,
Mm-hmm.
just staying aligned and then allowing all the puzzle pieces to fall where they should go.
Now, you offer a couple different options for someone to get this coaching and accountability. One of which you've touched on a little bit, which is the Odonata community.
Yes. And
And
that is going to look a bit different this year.
mhm,
So, Odonata is a subscription based group coaching opportunity. It's very, very affordable. And I do that specifically because I want to help as many people as possible.
mhm.
It's not a long term commitment, it's a
It can
subscription.
be if you want it to be.
It absolutely can be. But if you're one that you're like, I'm just not sure, or I don't know how much time I'm going to need. And a lot of people don't know what they don't know, and they don't know what they need.
Mhm,
And so you dive in, you come to the group sessions. And it has been that it's just been kind of like open mic night,
mhm,
and then I just coach. And so what I'm doing now, starting January, I believe 2nd is the
mhm.
first one, is there will be a topic. And every other week, there will be a different topic. And so we're jumping in with the power of acceptance, transforming relationships with intention. And so that is going to be number one. And there is going to be a lot in there,
Mhm.
um, packed with a lot of goodies. And a
Yeah.
lot of this we've done for the 12 days of Christmas. And there was a lot sent out over the last 12 days.
Mhm.
And I know it was a lot. How many applied what they were learning or what they were
Yeah.
getting for free?
Yeah.
And so when you don't have accountability, you're not actually doing the work.
Mhm.
You might read it, you might look at it. Same thing we do with these wonderful books that we read. But if you're not applying what you're learning, or you're not applying what the gifts that you're being given, then what good is it?
Yeah.
It's no
Well,
good if a book sits on a shelf.
and if you didn't check your email last night, or we just sent it out again about 20 minutes ago, you gave a crazy Christmas gift.
I did. I did.
You did
Be-
50% off
I know.
Odonata.
I know. And I did that because I want people to give themselves that gift and
Yeah.
invest in themselves, but I also don't want them to feel like they're so pressured by the money piece.
Yeah.
I want them, but you got to have skin in the game, because we know that, just like with the freebies,
Yeah.
if you didn't open up your email and you didn't download the freebies, that right there is proof that you need accountability.
Mhm.
And so if you want to change, you need some guidance.
Yeah.
And you need a trainer, like a coach, that's
Yeah.
going to say, no, we're going to do 20 minutes right now. So let's go.
Yeah.
Get to
Yeah.
it. So that's why. So it's a 50% off. And I'm not, if you were to email me with a name of saying, hey, could you do a BOGO with me? And you get a second person to come in with you, I probably would not say no to that. I will do BOGO.
Okay.
I will do
This
BOGO.
is I've never heard of this before, guys. So
So not only are you getting half off, and we're talking $111 a month, you're getting half off,
which is
50% off of that.
4 calls, by the way.
Yeah.
That's just over $10 a call, a coaching call.
Right. A 1 hour coaching call, and every other week there's a topic. And now I'm saying BOGO, bring a friend. Because that's going to be better for them, because you are now having a friend join you in it, and you can talk about it, you can work on during the week with it. And then the next week you come on, we're going to discuss the experience. We're going to
Yep.
discuss what did you learn, and
Yeah.
then how to move forward. And
And
then
the thing
the
with group coaching is that even if you don't need coaching every single week, you're still going to get value every single week, which sometimes we don't really think about either. Is you're still getting massive value hearing other people and their experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you have a question, someone else has the same
Yeah.
question. They just haven't asked it yet.
But if you're really not a group coaching person and you want to dive in, you do that too. And that's mokshagrace.com/coaching. You do a
Yes.
free compatibility call, chat about what's going on, and then you guys can talk about what that coaching looks like. And you do like custom plans with people too. Like you have general outlines of like what the timeline looks like, but you do custom coaching stuff with people. So it's not just like you get started and it's not like a workshop or like a course that you have to go through. Like you're working with people one-on-one.
Yeah. The only thing that is more structured in the sense that I have content and
Hmm.
you have to commit to 3 months.
Hmm.
That's the big one, and
Yeah.
that's the 3 month, but that is the deep dive into your inner family. Like
And that's
that.
also something that you can start out with not doing that and then
Right.
morph into that
Yep.
once you get a little coaching under your belt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I've had a lot of clients that'll do like a month here, a month there, and then they're like, "All right, I'm ready for the big plunge. Let's do it." And they, puts
Hmm.
the cannonball into the pool. Like then we make the big splash.
Yeah.
But that's not something I feel responsible for every client, and I won't do that deeper dive unless I know how long it takes. I know how to walk people through it, but
You gotta
yeah,
be ready for it.
that's a requirement. Is that one is 3 months. I won't
Yeah.
do it for less than that
Yeah.
because it would be irresponsible,
Yeah.
honestly. And I can't do that. But the listen, there's people that have changed their life from a couple sessions. There's people that have changed their life for a month. There's people that, you know, from these shows we've heard people have learned things and gotten techniques and different things. So definitely book a call. We'll figure out which way to go. If you want to join Odonata, we're not doing tonight, but next week we are starting January 2nd,
Yep.
Thursday night. It will be the power of acceptance, transforming relationships with intention. Um, so, really talking about that. We are going to be here with Shockingly Delightful on Monday.
Yep.
We have a fun topic there. And thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. I look forward to those of you that are going to take advantage of the promotion and 50% off.
Yep.
The link is in your email, so go over there and grab it.
Hmm.
And yeah, I look forward to seeing you. Remember, you can always have a good day or a bad day. It is all about choices, so choose wisely.
Bye.
Bye.